Sounds great.
Suspects on the loose after an attempted armored truck robbery, and police say a woman may have been abducted during the incident.
These persons were armed with what we believe to be high-powered assault rifle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nakia DeVoe, and this is NB12 Weekend. Thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. Police now left to piece together the attempted armed robbery, the morning shootout with automatic weapons, the getaway vehicle destroyed by fire, and a woman who may still be missing. Police say it all started just before noon when 4 men in a silver vehicle pulled up at Percy's Web Cafe at the intersection of Cowpen Road and Faith Avenue and attempted to rob an armored truck with automatic rifles. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Roll, said the truck was ambushed just moments after Web Shop employees made a deposit. Eyewitnesses told us that the wash house and the budget food store housed in the same plaza as Percy's, which is run by Island Game, were both packed with patrons at the time of the shootout.
Where they opened fire on the armored personnel. The armored personnel in turn returned fire, gunfire at these culprits.
I was on my register, and then all we heard was gunshots, and everybody was in budget just dropped their groceries. Everybody just ran in the back to the meat department and just hide. Some hide in the freezer. Some leave their children, leave their clothes, leave their shoes, leave everything. So we was just like afraid.
I was washing, and when I look outside, I heard shots. I thought it was firecrackers at first until when I look out, I saw men dressed in black with masks on, and they were shooting at the armored truck. So I ran out to get my child from outside. That was about it. I ran in the back after that.
After the shootout, the suspects allegedly jumped into a vehicle parked nearby. They sped away from the scene, leaving the car's front bumper in the middle of the street. Police believe that vehicle belongs to a woman who may have still been in the car at the time.
And we are receiving information that a female may have been abducted. And so we're trying to find her whereabouts and confirm whether in fact that is so.
And any suspects in custody?
We don't know. Persons reported hearing a female scream as the vehicle was driving off during the exchange of gunshot. You hear the voice of a female inside this vehicle. We believe that the culprits may have abducted her in an effort to make good the escape.
A short time later, police found a man with a gunshot wound to the face in the middle of St. Vincent Street, just 1 block away. They believe he is one of the 4 armed robbery suspects who possibly received the injury during the shootout. The suspect was taken to Doctors Hospital, where he's being treated for his injury. When we arrived at that scene, a mask was still in the middle of the street. Officers were combing nearby bushes for evidence and collecting bullet casings from the street and nearby properties as area residents gathered at the edge of the cordoned-off crime scene.
In the area where we found him, we also found a black tar mask, which we believe was a part of his accoutrement, as well as some additional ammunition for the high-powered weapon.
The suspected getaway vehicle was found burnt beyond recognition in the area of 7 Hills. Officers left the scene of the crime to process the vehicle. Up to news time, police could not say if anyone else was injured during the incident. Roll said detectives are still trying to piece the puzzle together. Just before news time, Assistant Commissioner Anthony Ferguson confirmed that the man who was shot and found on St. Vincent Street this morning is an interdicted police officer. But he says police cannot say for sure if he was involved in the incident and that they're still investigating the circumstances surrounding his injuries. Organizers from the Save Our Bahamas Vote No campaign have upped the ante, enlisting the services of an expert on problem gambling. The group flew in Executive Director of the National Council on Problem Gambling, Keith White, to educate Bahamians on gambling addiction. White spoke at a special town meeting at Bahamas Harvest Church on Prince Charles Drive Friday night. White says he came to the Bahamas not to convince anyone to cast a yes or no vote, but to educate them on problem gambling.
Because of the referendum, there's been a lot more interest in the consequences of gambling, and especially in gambling addiction. So I was able to come down here at the request of the Save Our Bahamas Coalition to talk about our specialty, which is the impacts of problem gambling and gambling addiction. Our organization is neutral on legalized gambling, but we are the United States, and in fact the world's oldest organization on problem gambling issues.
White, who once served as Director of Research for the American Gaming Association, has also contributed to research and public policy issues concerning gambling in the United States. While he's only been in the Bahamas for official business for a few days, White says one thing he's noticed is a lack of support for gamblers with a problem.
Well, we believe that when you legalize gambling, you certainly expand both the number of people who participate and probably the gambling addiction in a society. We've seen that certainly in the United States. As gambling has expanded, the rate of gambling addiction has started to increase. There are certainly programs to mitigate it, but that's what we need to talk about here in the Bahamas. As far as I can tell, there is not a culture of responsible gaming at the current establishments, which is common when it is not a regulated industry. Most unregulated industries don't have the type of responsible gaming regulations that we would have, for example, in a legalized, regulated environment, because they're not held to that. And there's also few services to treat those who do have gambling addiction. We estimate, based on worldwide figures, that approximately 2 to 3% of the population meet criteria for a gambling addiction, and I'm not aware of many services for them that are specific to problem gambling, and that's one of the things we would certainly recommend.
Meantime, officials for the Vote No campaign say they have planned a number of other events before the gambling referendum on January 28th. In other news, it was revealed earlier this month that officials at the Bridge Authority are strongly urging the government to replace the old Paradise Island Bridge. The chairman of the Bridge Authority revealed a series of inspections uncovered serious defaults with that bridge. In this report, our Jasmine Bonamy reveals what those inspections outlined.
The old Paradise Island Bridge does have its fair share of issues, and over the past 10 years, those issues have been outlined in successive inspection reports. Concerns over the state of the bridge were first raised in 2005 after an inspection report revealed that it was in urgent need of repair. Chairman of the Bridge Authority, Rory Higgs, says those inspection reports are vital.
There's been several inspection reports which indicate that there's some repair that need to be done to the bridge, rehabilitation work.
As revealed earlier this month, with the old Paradise Island Bridge nearly 50 years old, officials at the Bridge Authority are likely to recommend that the government construct a third Paradise Island Bridge. The price tag of a new bridge would be around $50 million. While many have said the old bridge has reached the end of its lifespan, little has been said about what those inspection reports have uncovered. That is, until now. Higgs explains how the inspection process works and how the old bridge has been rated over the past few years.
There's a lot of cracking and the rebar work, which is the steel that is within the concrete, is starting to swell and corrode. There's been some damage as a result of vessels running onto the fenders at the piers, and those sort of issues are issues that we're very concerned about.
According to Higgs, the two inspection reports conducted over the past 8 years reveal the same worsening issues persist.
There's an inspection report that is done every 5 years to determine the integrity of the bridge. And each of those inspections pointed out some flaws in the construction or some I guess, deterioration in the structure.
The most recent inspection was conducted in 2010. At the time, then Minister of Works and Transport Nico Grant revealed in the House of Assembly that the inspection of both bridges cost the government $400,000. Typically, during an inspection, the engineers conduct underwater checks during phase 1 of the 3-part inspection. The second phase includes the inspection of docks, sidewalks, and railings. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
The Ministry of Tourism will spend $14 to $15 million on its aggressive campaign that will be unveiled in a matter of weeks. While the amount sounds like a lot of money, Tourism Minister Obi Wilscombe said it is absolutely necessary and only the starting price if the Bahamas is to properly promote its islands to the world.
You're not going to be a good brand if you take your product off the market. You've got to keep your product in the forefront in the eyes of the people. And so we've got to find more money. That's what we have to do, find more money to make sure that we can get radio ads, because we don't do enough radio ads, television ads, newspaper, all the print that we want, the magazines, and of course we got the digital platform.
Wilscombe revealed the amount just days after announcing that the ministry will soon unveil an advertising campaign that has never been done before in the Bahamas. He said each unique island destination must be kept at the forefront, getting the message out to the world that the Bahamas is more than just a single island destination is something Wilscombe says the ministry has failed to do in the past.
If there's one thing we have not done effectively is spend and secured the marketing that we could. Because if you have all that we have in this country, I mean, all that we have in this country, and I do say so, notwithstanding the fact that we have guests in the house, I do say that the Bahamas has so much to offer.
The minister added that the amount will eventually increase from the $15 million starting price. He said the ministry will have to find the money to effectively secure the marketing it needs to have 80 to 90% hotel occupancy year-round. It is hoped that the costly campaign will help the ministry meet its goal of 1.6 to 1.8 visitors this year. Wilscombe told reporters how far the country is from those numbers.
About 300,000-400,000. But, you know, that's, you set challenges and you go after them. I think, I believe in my driving philosophy is you have to have a cause for whatever you're doing. And the cause is we have to cause for growth. We measure ourselves by what we do, so we're going to be doing that on a regular basis. People in the Ministry of Tourism as well, the staff members, all our professionals, they're trained, they know what to do. We're just going to make sure that they go out and we have more foot soldiers to get the job done. So we're off by several 100,000, but I'm not deterred by the goal.